Hi, you have just tuned in to Twist FM's podcast. I will be your host, Sam.
That's why I love it, I love it, love it, I love it, love it, I love it.
I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to have a dog. After watching Lady and the Tramp, 101 Dalmatian, you just got to have one. I always thought that dogs are easy to raise. You just give them foods and drinks and they'll take care of the rest themselves. My parents never wanted one and I never understand why. So as I grew up, I just dropped the idea. But earlier this year, I was thrown a curveball and I actually adopted a dog. He is a Jack Russell Terrier with a mix of Dalmatian and we call him Brownie. He's very cute, very active, but I have no idea where to begin with. Which inspires me to start this podcast because I believe there are people out there who are like me, who wanted to raise a dog but is afraid because they don't know where to begin with. Hopefully through this podcast, I can spread some message and some useful information to help people to know the proper way to raise a dog. Without further ado, this is RawPaw. To start things off, I actually have the privilege to interview the administrator of SPCA Penang, which stands for Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. She actually shared a lot of information regarding on how to properly adopt a dog. Here are some of the points that have been summarized.
Okay, when you talk about adoption, one must think very carefully before adopting a dog. It needs commitment beyond 10 years. When you adopt a dog from the streets, let's say when you take them home, make sure that you do the following step. The first thing to do is to take it to the vet, to have it checked for worms, check the age, the gender, the flea, and vaccinate if possible. Vaccination starts from 2 months, and then you repeat a month later till the puppies reach 16 weeks. And after that, you do annual vaccinations. Of course, you have to register with the vet yourself. It's best to register your dog with the vet so that just in case you need to go for a holiday, let's say, you know where to board your dog. This is also part and parcel of responsible pet ownership. Licensing, the law requires 4 months and above. You need to vaccinate, give rabies vaccination, and you can do it at the Jabatan Pelayanan. And of course, best is to find out the requirements, what you have to do. Okay, vaccinations after that will be annually. After the 16 weeks, you do it annually until your dog passed away. Of course, training and all that is very important. If you don't train your dog, you don't have any bonding at all. What is going to happen to your dog when you come back if there's nobody at home? You can't tie them for 24 hours. They will be destructive. Some of them, if you tie for too long, they will be aggressive. So this is the reason why you need to bond with the animals too. Spending time is very important. We always feel that if you want to adopt or buy any dog, make sure that you have these 3 elements, which is you must have time, space you must have, money is also important. Alright, if you have one, you don't have the other 2, it won't work. And also think of your lifestyle, how busy you are. Is it fair for you to keep a dog when you are too busy? You won't have time for your dog. There must be a commitment from the family. Everyone must have a share in it, not only on that particular person who is adopting. And important is we need to know how to go about raising the animals. Never allow your dog to roam out in the streets. If you buy a license for your dog, it must mean that this dog must stay in your house and not on the road.
Hopefully some of the information that Miss Lily gave can actually help you guys in understanding how to properly raise a dog. To gather more information, I then went to a cafe called the Corgi and the Gang. When I was having a meal there, I was lucky enough to have a conversation with the owner as well as the groomer of the cafe. So this is the interview that went down. Okay, first of all, I would like to know, for people who are looking to raise a dog, what will be the advices you would give to them?
For people who are going to raise a dog, before you get the dog home, you will need to understand what breed you want to have. And after that, understand their characteristic, behavior and needs. Because different breeds of dog, they have their own different characteristic and also their needs. And make sure you discuss with your family so that every family member have agree on how you are going to train your puppy, or where you will put your puppy. For example, where your puppy is going to sleep, or will your puppy allowed to be on the furnitures. And also after you have settled all this stuff, you have to prepare puppy supplies and also equipment for your dogs, such as puppy pants, treats, toys, and also toilet training tools. And after you bring your pets home, make sure you observe your puppy health condition, especially in the beginning of the first 3 days, because it's very essential.
The next question will be, is there a proper way to give bath to a dog?
Yes, there's a proper way to bath your dog. Firstly, you have to brush your dog's coat thoroughly. Make sure there's no any tangles or mates on the coats. And after that, always use warm water to shower your dogs so that they won't get cold. And also, when you shower your dogs, try to shower from behind, back parts of the dog, such as the butt, and not from the head, because you may shock the dog or you may scare the dogs. And also make sure there's no water enter the nose or the ear. If water accidentally enter the ears, make sure you use a cotton ball to dry the ear thoroughly. And if not, the dogs might get ear infection in the future. Rinse your dog's coat until the water from his fur runs clear. Make sure there's no shampoo leaf on the coats. If not, there might be sensitivity or might cause skin disease or skin problem. And dry your dogs thoroughly and brush them to make sure all the fur did not get tangled together.
The last question will be, if you're allowed to give 3 life tips for people who are looking to raise a dog, what would it be?
The first life tip will be, never spoil your dog. For the first whole week when you first bring your dogs home is very essential. You have to tell the dog what is those do's and don'ts. No table food for the dogs, because you may cause some sensitivity or some bad habits for the dogs. And lastly, always toilet train your dogs so that you and your dogs have happy life.
Okay, so far we've covered the basics on how to adopt a dog as well as how to properly take care of a dog. The next part will be some of the questions that I've asked veterinary from Beng Ong Clinic. Her name is Vet Tan. I met her while having my dog vaccinated. The first question that I've asked her is, what are the medical procedures needed for a dog? And this is what she answered.
So basically, a general checkup will be suggested when the owner first adopts the dogs. And then vaccination and deworming program also will be scheduled after the general checkup.
The second question that I've asked her is, what precautions should the owner take before raising a dog? And this is what she replied.
Behaviors such as like to eat non-consumable things such as plastic and also toys have to be stopped. And then also please be noted that bones are not allowed to be given as a food. Overbiting or over-scratching on certain part of their body may be sign of the parasitic infestation also.
And that's basically it. I hope that through this podcast I have covered some grounds and give you guys a general idea on how to properly raise a dog. Before I end this, I would like to bring up the awareness that there are a lot of abandoned dogs and strays roaming around the streets. There have already been a few non-profit organizations that have already taken some of them in and given them care and shelter, but they are still without a home. So to those who are listening to this, if you are able, please adopt one of them and give them a proper home. I will leave you guys with this public service announcement.
SPCA has got lots of unwanted animals, mainly cats and dogs, for adoption. I would advise the public to come and save lives. All right? Don't buy. Adopt.